Hi, I wanted to share a little update. I know it's been a while. It's actually been almost 2 weeks. And if you hear noise in the background, pumping. But babies are here. On June 10th, I delivered via C-section, and they came out in birth order, which is pretty exciting. Well, I guess in utero order. So A came first, then B, and then C. And we have names. We have babies. It's just so exciting. So the day went really well. Walked right in, had my epidural that took a little longer than I had hoped, but we ended up being just fine. They did accidentally puncture my bladder, so I ended up having to have a catheter for a week to keep my bladder empty so it could heal. But it was fine. We got through it. So baby A came out at 11:45, and we named him Henry Elliot. After Henry is Grant, my husband's great grandfather. Elliot is his dad. And then baby B, his twin, is Keaton Matthias. And Keaton is a family name on my mom's side. Her dad grew up on the Keaton farm, which is a family name. Key is the family name, and then I guess they just old school name, the name of the farm was Keaton. And his middle name is Matthias, which is after my husband. It's his middle name and his kind of dad's side of the family's heritage. My maiden name was actually Mathis, so it's kind of funny that we both have that in our names, but decided to go with Matthias just to kind of give nod to that family. And then our little girl, baby C, is Amelia Ruby, and Amelia is the feminized version of my dad's middle name. His middle name was Emil, and he passed away when Garrett was about 5 months old. So we knew we wanted to use that name because my dad was ill for the majority of my pregnancy with Garrett and then ended up passing away. So she's Amelia with an E, Emilia, and her middle name is Ruby after my husband's grandmother, Ruby Lee. So we have 3 healthy babies that were born at 11:45, 11:46, and 11:47. They are all in the NICU as of right now. They're doing really well. They're on room air. Henry was having a couple breathing issues that we had to keep him in a little bit, on oxygen a little bit longer. Keaton falls asleep while he's eating, so he ends up having to have a little bit of his milk through an NG tube. And then Emmy has just been a rock star. She had a little bit of issues, they all did, with bilirubin. So those numbers were a little high, so they were little glowworms and got to be under the light blankets or the overhead lights just to get those numbers back to normal. But Emmy's coming home tonight, which is just so exciting. We could have picked her up a little earlier, but my husband's not taking his leave until all 3 are home. So that's a good thing. That means we'll have, I'll have his help when there's all 3 babies here, but he works from home, so hopefully we can still kind of, he can help out when things get really, really intense with 1 or 2. But we don't know who's going to come next. My thought originally was Keaton, but Henry seems to be doing better. So it's a race to see which boy will come home first, or maybe both come together. So we'll pick her up tonight. Things are going well with me. The catheter bag came out last Friday. My C-section is healing well. I'm moving a whole lot more than I did with my first one. The recovery at the hospital, was to be expected. I think the worst was just kind of the needing to, pass gas and before you could leave and all those kinds of things to make sure your system's working. But we got all that figured out with lots of medicines and things to help it along. Just as a pro tip, warm prune juice helps all things. I stopped taking pain medication probably 3 or 4 days ago. I'm having crazy hormonal night sweats, which is new. I don't think I had that before. So I go to sleep really cold and then I wake up just sweating. I am pumping every 3 hours and kicking butt at that. I am getting anywhere from, I would say, 6 to 10 ounces total per session, which mind-blowing. With Garrett, I think I got 3 to 4 ounces every time I pumped, and that was total and when he was older. So I'm just amazed that my body has decided to do this correctly. I'm turning up the pump a little bit to kind of speed things along. But yeah, I hadn't updated this channel very much, mainly because I've been using my work computer and just sitting and filming from my desk. And I had to send that back to have people manage my system while I'm on leave. But yeah, I will hopefully be able to send a lot more updates when Emmy gets here, and a little bit about the nursery and some must-have things. I think that's really helpful in what I look for the most when I'm looking for other triplet moms is, what's your nighttime routine? What is daytime like? What kind of products do you have? Things that work really well. So I'm more than happy to kind of go over some of that stuff because, again, that's what I really, really liked and really respected people's opinions. When it comes to breast pumps, I'll start with a couple of things. I did get the Baby Buddha, which is a portable pump, and it's really good suction, so it works really well at emptying. I found out that I'm not a 24 flange size, which is the typical. I'm bigger than that this time around. With my first pregnancy, it was totally fine. I used 24 inch or whatever, centimeter, whatever, millimeter, I don't know the measurement. I used the 24 ones for everything, and now I'm using the next size up depending on the brand. So for the Baby Buddha, I had to buy another set of flanges in the next size up, which I think were 28s. Medela 27s, but they come with two, which was helpful. The hospital grade pump that's at the NICU, I was able to get an extra pack of their flanges, and there's an easy way to switch out the flanges for the Baby Buddha. You literally just buy a little, it's called a flow protector, I believe is what it was called, and you just stick it in to the tubing that comes with the Baby Buddha pump and stick that little flow protector into the Medela flanges. So I was able to use the size up flanges waiting for my Baby Buddha flanges to come in. And then I got this fancy Ameda hospital grade pump, and that's working well. I got that through the pharmacy in the area, and they gave me 30 whatever size flanges that are seeming to work well. This is my first pump session with them, and doing pretty well. I'm at like a lot of milk. I don't think I can do this without showing too much of my of myself, so I won't show you guys the milk yet. But that's been, really helpful for me, those two pumps and then the pump at the NICU. Our NICU schedule, I had to have somebody take me, and again, my husband's not taking leave until they get here, so we got special permission for our moms to come as my support. So we were kind of alternating my mom and my mother-in-law coming along, helping push me in a wheelchair because I couldn't walk for the first couple days because of the pain from the C-section. And then really just helping in the room because there's a lot of babies. And so we were going from like 2 to 4, and then the mom would leave at 4, come back home. Grant would get our 5-year-old, and then the mom, or, my mother-in-law and father-in-law would come over and watch Garrett while we visited in the NICU together. So then Grant would come from like 6 to 7:30 or 8. We were trying to stretch it, but realized we needed to be home to see Garrett before bed. But now that Emmy's coming home, I will probably take her with me from like 2 to 4 and visit, and then go pick up our son, and then bring him home, Emmy home, and then have dinner with Grant, and then he will turn around and go to the NICU for 2 hours to be with the twins in the evening, and I will do bedtime with a newborn. But I think, my mom lives very close, and she's going to be willing to come over and help in the evenings. And then hopefully we'll have another baby home, and then another baby home, and then Grant will be able to start his leave, and we'll kind of get into a routine then. But those are really, that's how we're getting through life, trying to eat enough. I am very lucky and have just hit pre-baby weight. I think because I only gained around 45 pounds, it was a lot easier to just drop it because most of that was baby. I didn't mention their weights. So Henry was 5'1", 5 pounds, 1 ounces. Keaton, or 1 ounce. Keaton was 3 pounds, 11 ounces. So he was a little nugget. And then Emmy was 4'3", I think. They all dropped weight while they were in the NICU, but I believe everybody's back up and over birth weight, which is wonderful for 34-weekers. So I think that's it for my quick update and just general babies are here. Again, I'm going to try to do more. Sorry about the up and down video. I know that's not amazing to watch. It's a harder experience, but just wanted to get an update out for everybody because I know not everyone is over following on my Instagram page, and that's really where I've been posting a whole lot more updates. There are some baby pictures there too. And really just, sharing information for friends and family, and then this new amazing village that's also following along in our story. So a whole lot more to come. Just wanted to make sure you guys know I was around. Everybody's doing well. And I will be back for more updates as more babies come home. Bye.